Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make this super cute card. Okay, so we are going to use the stamp set from Stampendous that I brought in my most recent haul, and we're going to use the bunny. So all of this I cut out with my silhouette, and you can cut out like these little hillsides, and they have the stitching in them. Same with the clouds and the rectangle in the background. You can get tons of shapes like this with the stitching, and they were 99 cents a piece. It came with a set of 3 for the hills, and then it came with like the set of 5 for the clouds, and they're 99 cents. That is on the silhouette in the store. I tried to look, Cricut does have some of these hills and stuff like that for free, but they don't have the stitching. They did have a circle, I believe, that had stitching. You'll just have to look, but I like the way that Silhouette had them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ink up the background. We're going to use this Archival Ink Forget Me Not in blue, and we're going to go ahead and ink up all the clouds. So I'm just going to layer this on. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out some of this footage here so that way you don't see me do the exact same thing to all these clouds. But I'm just getting my first layer on here of this lighter blue here on all of the clouds. Okay, so for the outside of the clouds, I'm going to come back in with my Memento Bahama Blue. So I'm going to come back in with this and just darken up the edges of the clouds. So I'm going to do this to all of them. For the background of my card, I'm going to use Tim Holtz Distressed Ink in Broken Glass. And I'm going to take this and just ink up the entire background of my card. I'm going to start from where the hillside should start and then come all the way up because that's going to be green. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this and just and I'm using my Tim Holtz Distress tool to do this, blending tool as you will, and just going over the entire card. I'm going to go back in with my Memento ink by Bahama Blue, and I'm going to bring this and do the entire outside of the card to brighten it up. So I'm going to go ahead and deepen all those edges with that Bahama Blue. I just love these two colors together. I think they blended together very nicely, and I think all of these inks blended very nicely. I absolutely love them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my heels and start placing them where I want them to be so I can see exactly where they're going to lay, so I know where I'm going to start with my next ink. And I'm going to come in with the Forest Green by Hero Arts and go ahead and ink up the entire outside. Now I'm not going to color the whole, you'll see where I'm going to skip that white space there because that's where the heels are anyways. So I'm just going to take that Forest Green and just go around all of the edges. And I love this color. All of these colors, you're going to hear me say I love them all. I just love this color. It's so pretty. And I think they all just blend out very nicely. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take all of my heels and I'm going to use the Memento Pear Tart to go ahead and color all of these in. So I'm going to go ahead and just take it and just blend them out very nicely, just evenly, just putting a layer of this on every single heel. Now I'm going to come back in with the Forest Green, and I'm going to, by your Hero Arts, I'm going to come back in and just ink up all of these edges here. And you'll see that I'm doing the bottom of these, like some of these, and it's like you're not even going to see them. They're going to go behind each other, but it's one of those things that you just have to do it. So I'm just going to ink up all of these edges with this. And like I said, once again, I think these two colors blended together very nicely. Absolutely love the way they look together. So I'm going to do that to all of these. I'm using my Tombow tape runner to get on these. I love this Tombow tape runner. It is so smooth. If you haven't tried this already, you have to. Love it. All right, so I'm just holding the other two down so I know where to stick that one. So I'm just going to lay it down, and then I'll move on to do the same to the next one. And then for the top one, we're going to use adhesive foam squares to give that a little bit of a dimension and make it pop out. So now you can see where I just kind of popped that out and gave that a little bit of dimension. I'm going to do the same thing with the clouds. I'm going to do one with a foam square to make it pop out, and then the other three I'm going to use my Tombow tape runner as well to get those laid down. And the Tombow tape runner is very nice, like just to disperse just a little bit, so smooth. I'm going to have to go back and get the dot runner for the same one. I like it as well because it has like a little lip that covers the tape, so that way it protects it from getting stuff on it. Really love this tape runner. Okay, so we're going to use this cute little bunny right here, and I love this shirt, so I'm not going to change his outfit. I'm going to use this shirt right here, and this is by Stampendous, and I'm going to start with his little feet. This is the We Are Memory Keepers Precision Press. The only thing I don't like about it is it don't have magnets, so you have to pull the paper down every time. You could use washi tape and stuff, but I also need to get a piece of foam to put underneath to kind of help with the stamping. I've learned with this, you don't really want to push down too hard. It'll kind of push your ink out a little bit and make it bleed. So you just need to lightly press it. I can put like a magnet sheet on the back and then be able to put magnets on it. But I did order the Mini Misty, so we'll be reviewing that very soon. I'm excited about that. I do own the Tim Holtz one, but it's just so big. I have the bigger one. It's so big that I hardly grab for it. So I'm just going to continue to stamp his little body here. I'm using the Memento Ink Black Tuxedo for this. In the video before I cut it off, I totally forgot to stamp down his little arms, so here in a minute you'll see that. But as soon as I come back, his arms are there. I just totally forgot them. I'm going to use the Brea Reese watercolor markers. Now, I got these also during that sale. These were $6 for a set, and you can still buy these. These are not like clearance out everywhere else. I'm using the orange and this ocean mist color, and I really do like these. I'm using my water pen, and this one actually came with my Gelatos years ago, but I have a Tim Holtz one. I just couldn't find it, but you could get these about everywhere. So I'm just going to use this water brush. And then what I like to do is I just get a little bit on the corner here, and then I drag the color into the middle to kind of make it fade. So I'll just add a little color to the sides and then fade it with that water. I'm going to come back in with this light pink and this light magenta color for his ears. So I'm going to first color his ears, his nose, and his cheeks with this light pink, and then I'll come back here in a little bit with the light magenta to brighten him up just a little bit. I'm coming in now with this light gray here. This is the only one that gave me problems. If you can see those little dots there, it was coming out very blotchy. But what I would do is I would come back with, and I kept trying to blend with water, I would come back with a little bit more darker of an ink and just kind of bring those dots together like that. So that's what I had to do. As I went on, I learned to just lightly pick up a little bit of color and it blended out a little bit better. You'll see that. But you just have to kind of play with this color. It is a little bit blotchy, but so far I am loving these pens. They're really nice. I did try to look up a few videos to see about these pens before I had purchased them while I was down there, but there was like really nothing on the internet about these pens. So I thought this might help somebody that's wanting to purchase these, because like I said, it's not like these are on clearance everywhere. This is a new product, but it's just Hobby Lobby's getting rid of them. But just in case somebody's curious of to how these markers perform, I really do like them. Okay, so now that we've got him all colored up, I went around his entire body with a black Tombow marker just to kind of define him a little bit. Then I'm going to go back in with my water brush, and I put a little bit of that Forest Green Hero Art stamp on my Teflon sheet, and I'm just coming in and just kind of putting a few little splotches of grass. So this one I did a little bit too spaced out, so I'll have to come back and mess with it a few times. But I'm just going through here and making some little piles of grass. Okay, so now I'm going to take my bunny and I'm going to kind of put him where he's going to go just to kind of test him, just to see if I wanted to add any more grass. I'm going to go ahead and add one more right over here. This is one of those things towards the end of your card sometimes and you kind of feel like you're overkilling it. That's how I felt a little bit here. So that looks good to me. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my white gel pen and add a little bit of white in his eyes and on his nose, just to kind of help give him a little bit more character. And I'll zoom in here in just a second so you guys can see what I'm doing here. It's so cool how just a little bit of that makes such a big difference. I'm also going to come back in with my glitter gel pen and put a little bit on the inside of his ears, his cheeks, his nose, and a little bit on his eyes, just to kind of give him a little bit of pizzazz. I'm going to come back in with that same glitter gel pen and add a little bit to the grass here just to kind of help give it a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of that same glitter gel pen to the clouds just to kind of give them a little bit of sparkle as well. I'm going to come back in with my white gel pen and add some of the stitching. So that way it kind of just helps define the stitching just a little bit. I'm going to go over all of the heel side seals, just, taking my white pen and just doing the little stitch lines. I'm going to do it to all the heels, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the clouds. For the clouds here, I didn't go all the way around. I just started right where the glitter started and ended. So it's just kind of wherever the glitter was not. So I'm going to go ahead and take my bunny again and test him out. You'll see how he sits kind of a little sideways like that. I really wished I would have really looked at him and put him like that. I think he's so cute like that. Like after I looked back at the recording, I was like, oh man. But he's going to stand up straight. But I really wished I'd have put him like that. It would have looked adorable. So I'm just going to take some foam dots here and put him right on his back and get him popped down. So now I'm going to go ahead and come back in with some glossy accents. I'm going to put a little bit on his eyes, a little bit on the clouds where the glitter is, and also on the grass pieces where the glitter is. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit here and there. Once again, probably one of those overkill things. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of gray cardstock and layer it right on top of the white. I just took the Tombow tape runner again and just put that right on here, and I'm going to get it laid down nice and even here. So I'm going to get that down. And then for the top of the card, I want to go ahead and add some foam dots on that because I want that to pop out. So since my glue is still wet because I'm impatient, I'm going to go ahead and kind of cup it with my hand. You'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to add some foam dots to the back of this and get it laid down. Now, since the card is still wet, I'm just going to go ahead and push where the foam dots are. So I'm going to lay it down just like this, just pushing down on all the foam dots. Now, you could leave the card just like this because I love the way that that gray looks just like that. But I'm going to come back in and put some stitching all the way around the gray there. I'm going to put some white stitching, but you could have left it just like this. I really love the way it looks like this as well. Okay, for the sentiment, I'm just going to write hop, 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 and I'm using my Tombow pen to do this. So I'm just writing hop, hop, hop. Now you'll notice on this first P here that I kind of came out on the top there, and I did not like the way that P looked. Whenever I got done, like the rest of my P's did not look like that. So what I did was I took my white gel pen and kind of colored that little piece in, and then I had tried to write all my P's like that, so then I had to come back and white gel pen all those, and then I didn't like that, so I added a little bit of this glitter pen. So now I'm just adding the glitter pen here and there and just kind of making it look like raindrops. So had I not messed up on that P, I would not have done this, but I think it still came out cute, but I wished I would have, and I did pre-write this down, but you know how that goes. So here's the end results. I really like the way it came out. I think it looks super adorable. I loved all the products. So I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.